In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What is the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn, and we're here celebrating a Panthers W. We've extended the streak from 3 to 4, and we want more. Yes, the Panthers win 37-26 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in London, and I'm here to chop it up with the best Panther fans on the internet, starting with Cody Lashney. How you doing, my friend?
Tony Dunn. I'm chilling here with my big cousin Jeff. The chat room is already lit. We went across the pond and put a spanking on that Tampa Bay team. I'm loving it. The chat room is already lit. Michael Jones, Matt Volt, Susan Dean's already with the love bomb. 10 Tizzy, Underground West, Ken D. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, Tony. Let's roll.
Chef Jeff, what's up, my brother?
What's going on, Tony?
Man, glad to have you here in the post game. I know you're excited.
Oh, definitely. Great game today. Definitely felt like a home game for the Panthers. A lot of Panther blue out there in that stadium in London today.
It was a little louder than almost dang Bank of America, I feel like. Greg, the Bat Daddy in the house. How's it going, my man?
I'm doing great, man. We are undefeated internationally, and we are possibly going to be in tie for first place in the division after today. So I'm doing fantastic.
All right, like Cody said, thank you to all the supporters in the chat room, from Susan, the Den Mama in the house, to Ken D, to Underground West. We appreciate it. 10 Tizzy, my man. How you doing today, guys? And look, the Panthers, we have it was really a dominating performance. We're going to get into that and your cat calls. The number's 252-228-5098. Go ahead and subscribe to the C3 Panthers podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and also give us a thumbs up or a rating. Tell a friend about the show so we can continue to grow Panther Nation, just like you saw them grow international today in their first game. Guys, we go to London. You never know what you're going to get, how a team responds to the travel, to the environment, but the Carolina Panther fans via the Roaring Riot really showed up, and I know a lot of Panther fans went with on their own as well. Panther fans travel, brother, and they got loud on the road, guys. You could hear it. Do you think that, don't you think that the sound that you heard on the television was representative of the Panthers showing today on the road?
Yeah, I think so. Jeff and I noticed it a few times, man. David mentioned it on the broadcast. You could definitely hear the keep pounding chants. Luke, every time Luke made a tackle, you could definitely hear it. The crowd came out in droves. Shout out to the Roaring Riot, man, because they brought a bunch of people over there. I've seen the pictures. I follow all those guys on Twitter. Dude, the Panther fans showed up. That was definitely – it was supposed to be a home game for Tampa. That's why both of the end zones said Buccaneers. But no one told the London fans that. The fans showed up and showed out, man. That's 2 weeks in a row that I'm proud of this fan base for being a loud, aggressive fan base, especially on defense.
I tell you one thing, there was a lot to be loud and excited about. This defense was flying around. I kept thinking here, man, if Cam Newton was on this team right now, imagine how hyped he would be. And when Cam gets on those highs, he starts rolling on that momentum. The defense gives the ball back. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I could just feel it. I could feel how sick it was. This Panthers defense, guys, with the front seven is super impressive. We see it get better and better each week. At the beginning of this game, it came straight up the gut, straight up the middle. Gerald McCoy gets 2.5 sacks, really 3 in my opinion. You saw Vernon Butler getting pushed. Don Terry Poe, the bouncer, that's what I call him, is my man. If he was not a football player, he would be a bouncer. These guys were just coming off the ball quick, and those linebackers from Brian Burns to Bruce Irvin, they were firing on all cylinders. What do you guys really think about this defense right now? I don't know if I've seen anything like it before.
It's the best defense in the league right now, I think. Me and Cody brought us up during the game. Can't argue it. They're making plays when they need to, and everybody on the D-line is pushing their man back. almost every single play.
And to think about without KK too.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I don't know if I say necessarily the best, but we are definitely a top 2 or 3 defense. The only reason I wouldn't say the best is because we're not a good scoring defense. Even though we have great stats and we hold the team well, we always still give up 24-plus points, which is, in the end, you can have all the defensive stats you want to, but if you're giving up 24 points, it changes the entire, scheme of things up. So
yeah, and I said this to you guys before we went live. Jeff and I kept on saying the pressure that we're getting on almost every snap is incredible. And I've said this for a while now that we're able to rotate players. How about Vernon Butler out of nowhere getting involved, getting 2 forced fumbles? One of them was recovered. It was on back-to-back plays. Gerald McCoy, listen, they gave him 2.5, but Gerald deserved 3, man. They should have just gave him the 3. That felt good against his old team. We had 4 interceptions on the day. I mean, listen, minus a few hiccups later on in the third quarter and giving up some big plays, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. But, considering that we still don't have Dante Jackson out on the field, man, I'm just not going to be hard on this defense right now. They're doing everything well. They're firing on all cylinders. I'm loving it, man. This defense is coming, boy. We're nasty.
Where this defense, and I think where the medium between what Jeff has described and as the best defense, and you got those questions about the scoring, right in the middle where we're at, guys, I think is that this defense is on a trajectory to become the best defense, right? Is that you have what you have right now is the question marks are coming from the right areas, right? Is because if you can generate that continued threat of the pass rush there, and the guys in the back continue to play and gel together a little bit more, and also just have some better games, right? Is that, look, is Eric Reed missed a couple of tackles today, and that's kind of typical Eric Reed to a certain degree. Like you said a couple of weeks ago, Greg, home run hitter of a type player, or a strikeout at times. But I think it would be one thing if we were holding teams and our secondary was playing great, but we were really having to manufacture a pass rush. We've seen that from Panther teams in the past where the pass rush wasn't natural, where you think to 2017, I think, when Steve Wilkes was our defensive coordinator, and the only way we could get to the quarterback was to blitz. Right? We can get to the quarterback by not blitzing anybody, by blitzing everybody. I mean, that's the impressive part, and I think that's a core right there that you can build from. And then you see Shaq Thompson playing insane. He almost had a sack today where it was the hands to the face on Winston. But the defense, I think, is going to get even better, and that is what is most exciting to me. Dude,
it
that's
is
straight
getting better. And,
silence, Joe.
The point that you made is what I love, man. When you're able to get pressure with just your front 4, that means you're able to drop more players in coverage, and that makes those short dump-off passes even harder. We're able to keep everything in front of our defense. I mean, listen, I don't know what the numbers are going to be. And by the way, my mistake, it was 5 interceptions. The chat room was quick to correct me, but when you're able to do that on defense, dude, it frees up so many different things. If we're not the best, like Greg said, we're definitely into consideration, and we don't even have all of our starters on the field right now.
The funniest part is? The funniest part is we're definitely top 2 or 3 defense, and honestly, our offense, man, we're putting up close to 30 points almost every single game. And for some reason, we're 15th in power ranking. I don't know how that's going to work out in the future, but, a team that scores almost 30 points a game and is one of the top defenses, we got to be given a little more respect here in the future with what's going on with Carolina right now.
Definitely.
Well, you start 0-2, but now we're, the 4-0 run right here is great. And under the circumstances, I think we get a bye next, so we got a lot of time to get healthy and come back. Now, I do want to point this out, as you were talking about the turnovers, Cody, as well. Yes, there were 5 interceptions. There were also 2 fumbles by Jameis Winston, 1 loss, 2 fumbles by Bobo Wilson, 1 loss. The defense, while we're excited about what we saw, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the defense, but this was some of Tampa Bay being bad. They were not, Jameis, had a lot of errant plays. Then you had Mike Evans, who I think arguably had a bad game. I mean, this is what you're supposed to do against bad teams, though.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, let's think about it. With Evans dropped that pass right before halftime, if he'd have caught that was a touchdown, no doubt. That would have made it a 3-point game or a tied game?
We would have been ahead, I think. Oh, okay.
Ahead by 3.
No,
Okay. Well, either way, it would have changed the whole dynamic of the game. Yeah, it would have changed everything about how the game's played after that. So we did get a little lucky, but every good run has a little bit of luck involved with it.
Now let's turn the discuss. Well, actually, let's go ahead and jump into the cat calls, and then we'll talk about the offense. All right, so we can push through the show and let you guys direct some of the show. I have a feeling that we're going to be hearing a little bit from Rich from England.
In a world where
site.
Wrong drop.
Actually, let's not go to the cat calls. Let's turn to the offense. And while I find the cat calls, guys, Kyle Allen, again, he becomes he's 4-0 now as a starter. And he did not fumble the ball today, I think, and that's a good thing. He had put up a lot of touchdowns today, but I mean, he got a lot of help, and Curtis Samuel played well, DJ Moore played well, and to Allen's credit, the guy who always catches the ball dropped everything his way today, Jarvis Wright.
Yeah, right.
On 3rd down, no less, both times.
Let's start with Cody. Cody, what did you think about the offensive performance today?
I mean, so listen, it's one of those things where I can't be hard on Kyle Allen. I think that especially if you look at his Jacksonville performance, where he left a bunch of plays on the field and he missed some throws. And then, Curtis Samuel had an incredible catch. That might be one of the catches of the year already, if it's not for that Russell Wilson play last week on Thursday Night Football. But other than that, listen, Kyle Allen, he's protecting the football. I feel like he's getting better navigating on the pocket. And Jeff brought up a great point when we were watching the game, that even if you go back to his college career, Kyle Allen never played a lot. He was transferring, and he went through all these different things. So you're talking about a quarterback that is learning on the job. And on a day where Christian McCaffrey was held to a relatively quiet day, we were able to move the ball and throw the football and make some important completions and move the ball around to different receivers also. I mean, that's what you want from our offense, because Christian isn't going to go for 200 every Sunday. So you have to be able to be multiple and do everything else. And I think that we've done exactly that.
Jeff, thoughts on this offense?
I think the offense is doing enough to win. They had a 99-yard drive today. I can't tell you the last time I've seen a Carolina Panthers offense drive at 95 or more yards and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
They're doing what they need to do. Like Cody said, McCaffrey can't do it all the time, and Kyle Allen did spread the ball around a lot today, and that's what you have to do. I mean, you can't ride McCaffrey for 3 straight games. Yeah. I mean, we knew he was probably going to get stopped by Tampa Bay because they did it the first game. But the throws were open in the second level of defense, and he hit those throws, and that's what we needed to pull out the win.
I would argue that Kyle Allen today, while again he I mean, I think there's some things in his game that were, he got away with. He got lucky with the touchdown to Curtis Samuel. It was a bad ball, and he caught it. Some of the guys are bailing him out, but that's what you're supposed to do. I think he's been sensational to this point, Greg. Is you've got right now a quarterback who's come in under these circumstances, like Cody said, learning on the job, and has not been a weakness to the team at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing with Kyle Allen for me is he is not an elite quarterback, but he is a good quarterback. And a good quarterback can run a team to a championship and win a championship as long as you have a good defense behind you. Now, going back to what Cody said earlier, the defense the way they play changes everything in the game, and it really does. If you look at the first 2 games of the year, our defense didn't play nearly on the level we're playing these last 4 games. And that does change the way the quarterback's going to play as far as the play call goes, as far as your field position. So it changes a lot up. Our defense has helped him play our defense has helped Kyle Allen out a whole lot. But I don't want to shit on Allen. He has played well. And, I'm very happy with the production he's given us. I just there's something about Kyle, and I think it's the Cam Newton love is what it is. That I can't be fully
we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go to that talk at some point. Obviously, that will be a focal point of the Tuesday night show. Is the discussion that has already emerged, the Adam Schefter tweet that stoked the fire this morning a little bit. Now Bomani Jones is in on it. Mike Freeman's in on it. Everybody's getting on the Cam Newton conversation. If Kyle Allen continues to win, Ron Rivera was asked about it. Guys, you're listening to the C3 Panthers post-game show. We're bringing it to you after this, celebrating this win, should I say. The number's 252-228-5098. Join in and be part of the conversation. I think I got the calls queued up. Let's see what Rich is going to say.
Thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in the snow? Who's that kid that can use one?
Morning, guys. Rich in London. I'm just heading to the game now. It's about 4
What's up,
hours
Rich?
before kickoff. I've been part of the action all week. I went to the pub that Settle started. I wasn't there. Unfortunately, I went the day before. David Settle was serving in the bar with the fans.
Turn the volume up a little, Tony.
Millionaire handing out pints. I tell you what, we've got the greatest owner in sport. The man's brilliant. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be a complete Panthers takeover. By the time you get this, you'll probably have seen. But the numbers of Panthers fans in and around London and on Twitter, it's going to probably be about 5-1 to Bucs fans. Anyway, this is probably not going to be the only phone call today. Take care, guys. Keep on.
All right, let's keep going. Way to go, Rich. Way to bring it.
End of the first quarter. Stadium's rocking. The Bucs are getting booed. That last drive, first drive looked great. Our defense has got them. Their O-line is shot. We are going through them like a sieve, like a hot knife through butter. Anyway, hopefully it will continue to be this good. Keep pounding.
I feel like we got to trust English people when they talk about butter. I don't know why, but I think we do. All right, here we go.
I mean, hey, man.
Cody?
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tony, Bad Daddy, CK, if you're there. And just got into the fourth quarter right after the Curtis Samuel touchdown, and I got to say, the Bucs were asking Kyle Allen to beat him today, and we just did, and he picked him apart. He had a great game. I really enjoyed watching it. Our defense supported him. We won the turnover battle. We won a penalty battle. We looked great overseas. We were focused as a team. This is a great win, and I know it's going to be a win. I knew it from the jump when Steve Smith said we were winning this game. Just a couple quick things. I love that our defense is not blitzing, and we're still getting to Jameis over and over and forcing him to make bad plays and throwing the coverages. Cody, I know Rich Eisen was driving you crazy today as much as he was talking about Norv Turner. But, man, anytime that
I like Rich Eisen.
Voice is a breath of fresh air, there could only be two people calling the game, and that's Joe Buck and Rich Eisen. God,
Oh,
torture on my ears today. I was really happy to see so many Panthers fans out in the stadium. The Tottenham Stadium is beautiful, and a bunch of these fans that are here, they traveled to this game. I read a story on Reddit last night about a guy who traveled out for the game with the Roaring Riot, and he saw at a concert, I forget who he was seeing, but he saw a season ticket holder in front of him at the concert, and he was like, this guy sits in front of me at all the home games, and they, I guess, ended up getting a beer and hanging out and talking.
That was at Salesman.
Looks like Jameis Winston. We made him look like Jameis Winston. I'm happy about that. That first pick really set the tone. I don't know. Just a great team effort today, guys. I'm really happy. Also, Tony, real quick, I know that you're the Auntie Cam at home games, but since Cam is out, I was wondering if you're going to adopt the boat shoes Kyle. All you need is a pair of Sperry's and a number 7 jersey. Either way, have a great day.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic call right there. I think the people in the chat room were having a great time earlier talking about the Kyle Allen look, like the cardigan, Kyle Allen cardigan, or stuff like wearing the salmon. Somebody said salmon shorts. Like he. All right, so fantastic call. Let's talk about this. One of the things that stuck out to me, even though I like Rich Eisen, because I think Rich Eisen has always been a Cam supporter, so I've always liked him on that. Mike Irvin just out there blowharding it. And Steve Smith was amazing. Did you guys hear Steve Smith at halftime where he said, "This is the Jameis Winston we know and love"?
Yeah.
He said that, and then the other thing was he called the Atlanta Falcons the get right team. If you need something fixed, just go to Atlanta. They'll fix it for you. Oh man.
And they were Super Bowl contenders according to everybody at the beginning of the year.
So what I liked about the call is he continued to come back and talk about how the team was gelling, and I think, and we've been talking so much about how they, how they traveled, how they were focused, they came out. We've seen the Panther teams not play in these moments where there's a lot of spotlight on them at times, and they haven't always been prepared or been focused or been sharp, and they were. And then we also were complimenting the defense so much. I think it's at this time we really got to give some props to Ron Rivera. Is that after an 0-2 start where you almost thought, like, what the hell was going on behind closed doors when he was saying it's not the foot, not the foot. This team has not lost a step. They've plowed through all of that, guys. They go on the road against the team they should have beat last time, and they do it the right way, guys.
I want to hear Cody give him props.
Yeah, I gotta give Ron his props. Huh? I guess it's about that time. Listen, man, like I said, I'm never gonna let my own personal biases get in the way of what's really going on. How about this? I'll give some love to North Turner too. I mean, I think that both him and Ron have done well, and one of the things that I did notice is that even though we gave up some points in the third and the fourth quarter, Steve Mariucci even mentioned it on the broadcast that we weren't playing prevent defense. I mean, we were trying to put our foot to our pedal to the metal and really get after them. And we were blitzing, and I feel like the MO of this team for such a long time has been, okay, we have a lead, let's protect it, let's keep everything in front of us. But no, they did what the fans have been asking for a long time. And yeah, listen, we all watched that Amazon show, and at no point did Ron Rivera ever lose the locker room. The players do love Ron Rivera, so it doesn't matter if I love him or if I hate him. The Panthers love to play for him. So yeah, shout out to everyone in the coaching staff, even our special teams. I don't know the name of our special teams coach, but
it's a former linebacker, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, it's Black. It's Black.
Yeah, it's
Blackburn.
Dude,
it's called a Blackberry. I was like, dang.
We're doing good things on special teams too, man. So we're a well coached football team right now.
I was gonna say this is that the one part that I started to wonder if you were gonna get on Ron for a coaching decision was not going for it on 4th and 1.
And it did piss me off, and Jeff backed me up on that. I was not happy with that.
We went and kicked the long 46-yard field goal, right? And so you did get the points, and then right after that, the Panthers then get the Luke Kuechly touchdown. So it didn't go the wrong way, but I was wondering, what you thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't try and go for it right there. Like I said, if I'm a coach, I believe in my team to get a yard every single time. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna harp on it because we've won and we have done some good things. But yeah, I'm not. I mean, get a yard and you're past your own 50. Come on.
Can someone?
At least there was one good spot. Me and Cody noticed at the end of the first half, we actually had all of our timeouts.
Yeah,
I can't remember that ever happening.
And speaking of that, is that all of that weird ending to the first half? Can we talk about this?
The free kick.
The free kick thing.
We had to look that up. We had to look that rule up. Apparently,
now explain it to us. Then I mean, I think I get it now.
Rule is it doesn't have to be at the end of the half or anything. It can happen at any point in the game. If the team punts the ball to the other team can go the very next play and go with a free kick off the tee or not on or off the tee. Doesn't matter. That's just a rule they have. We had to, like I said, we had to look it up, and that's the way the rule reads. Is if you call
But why did the field goal but you get 3 points if you kick it through the field goal?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because after a punt, you're never in a position to kick a field goal anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why you never see it. Dude, what a legend Joey Sly would have been if he made that kick. Oh, man, it would have been incredible. But
I was pissed he didn't make it. He should have. He had all the leg for it. And then the other thing is it's just bizarre. That's what they wanted to kind of turn the kickoff rule into, some people. You know, where if you get a touchback and you kick it through the uprights, you get a point.
You get a couple points. It's like that.
That's the way arena football is. You definitely
should.
Arena football, too.
I have a question.
Yeah, and I think in arena football, you get the ball back. Or you don't get the ball back, but you get a chance for a re-kick right after that.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
if you kick it again, you keep going until you miss it.
So, listen, I have a question for everyone here on the show and everyone in the chat room. Am I the only one who's no longer riding that Sly high? Because I've seen 2 games in a row now of him missing at least 2 field goals. And I don't know, man. Like, am I crazy?
He missed 2. He missed 2 today.
I mean, he missed more than once. I know that, and I know he missed at least once.
Yeah, he missed the free kick, and then
he missed the free kick, and he missed the field goal.
Yeah, and then he missed against Jacksonville. He missed at least one. So
right.
I don't know, man. I think shout out to CK who's not joining us today. He was the one saying, maybe we're not going to be liking it that Gano's gone so long. So I don't know. I want everyone else's opinion on this.
Well, let me hop in real quick. As far as the free kick goes, I don't really blame that on him because in the overall scheme of things, that's like a 70-yard kick, and he still had the distance. He just missed it a little right. But I think he's only missed 2 other ones the rest of the year. And I think last year, if we look at it, Gano had 4 misses, or 3 or 4 misses the whole year.
Four missed field goals and a couple missed extra points.
Okay, so we're 3 games away from being halfway. I guess when we come back, we'll be at the halfway point. And he's right where Gano was last year. So no, I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you, because he's on pace to hit the same numbers Gano did last year, but he's got a much stronger leg.
I'm not on the Joey Sly high, but I'm definitely not on the Gano low. That's for sure.
That is that's the way to put it.
We set the bar pretty low.
Good way to put it. Yeah,
that's the way to put it. Is if you think that we weren't kind of all of a sudden just anointing him, like all of a sudden we had found this kicker who's going to be but one that could kick like from 70 yards all day long. I think he's done well in the position he's put in. I think he shows that he is not going to be perfect, maybe a lot. Maybe he won't be the most consistent guy out of all the kickers you can get. But to me, I hated Gano so much. Like, I don't really care. I can put anybody back there except as long as they don't kick for Tampa Bay. Their kickers always stink, and they draft kickers. So I think Sly has done okay, right? But you're right, is that he has not... He was untouchable those first couple of weeks by fans, and I think that he's coming down. What about another one? Oh, let's bounce this one back at you, Cody. Ray. Oh, my God. Ray was horrible today. He was horrible.
And I did tell y'all, I've told y'all on this show, that he's either going to make a boneheaded play like he did today, or he'll break off a crazy run and take it to the house or almost to the house. So, I mean, listen.
We just haven't seen that or part. All we have seen at this point now is the bonehead, because
some good runs, but yeah, the bad ones have been bad.
And I saw somebody on Twitter say this. He has to be the worst fair catcher ever, because every time he lets it, I mean, he's doing what you're supposed to. If it's inside the 10, you're supposed to let it go over your head, and you're supposed to hope it bounces in the end zone. But poor Ray, every time it bounces, anytime inside the 10, it's like perfectly placed.
Right up in the air.
Yeah, for everybody. And he's got the worst luck there. All right, let's go back to your calls. The number's 252-228-5098. Celebrating the Panthers' victory over the Bucs in London.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Black Hat, Brandon Herbert. And
what's up, Brandon?
Watching into this game, I'm almost 99% sure we're going to win. I did notice something that I like, that unlike normal, like they're not just playing prevent at the end of the game like all teams do, like for some reason, and they're allowing the team to get back in the game. I know that they're coming back a little bit. Still not really too much worried, but I do want to talk about everybody that claims Bradbury is a good cornerback. And I lost count, really. I was at 11 catches he allowed this game. Yeah, he probably allowed more, but I lost count. And he almost allowed a 80-yard touchdown pass at the end of the game, which is ridiculous to even let somebody get that. So whatever y'all want to say, Bradbury's he's a great cornerback. If you want to think that, you can think that. I'm not a fan of him. But Kyle Allen actually did a really good job at managing the game. Didn't make too many mistakes. Tampa Bay really does have a really good run defense, so I'm not too worried about Christian McCaffrey. He still showed what he can do with a limited amount of space. Scoring 2 touchdowns. But other than that, I think it's a good win. So keep pounding.
So Bradbury did have a tough day today, and I think one of the hard parts, for Bradbury is that I don't know, they didn't trail. We didn't play any man, I don't think, Cody. And you've always been calling for us to go more to man, because I felt like sometimes I saw Bradbury, Mike Evans getting past him, and then at other times it was Godwin. It was just a mix and a lot of Godwin. But you're right, is Bradbury did not have a good day today, and Brandon Herbert also has been from this position from the beginning. So guys, with that defense, Cody, were you excited to see the defense though not fall into its typical give them everything in front of you? They were still getting pressure at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it already. I want to see more of that. I'm tired of the Cardiac Cats moniker. I'm ready to put our foot to the pedal and, finish these teams out, man, not letting them come back. I mean, that's like our MO, and we've got to stop letting that happen. And because our offense put up enough points today that we were never really in danger of that, but damn, it felt like even to the very end, Tampa Bay was trying. They were always blooded up and beaten, but they were never dead in the water. And
I think with that, Cody,
to Ron Rivera's credit, I will say that I do like the mindset of wanting to finish strong.
Yeah, I like seeing the blitzes at the end for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the panel, the Rich Eisen and guys and Mariucci, they misled us to think that the game was going to be over in the third, because they were like, oh, if they don't get points here, game's out of reach. And there was still a whole quarter and a half to go. And so we kept feeling like, dang, they should be dead now. But you get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you get points, you can stay in the game, and particularly when the Carolina Panthers offense wasn't able to respond each time. All right, let's keep plowing through with the calls.
Yo, C3, this is Theo from Asheville. Love the podcast. You guys are doing great work. I just want to talk course, McCaffrey's MVP. I just want to talk a little bit, hear your thoughts on Ross Cockrell, man. I thought he was great today, and I thought he's been great through our first 4 games. A lot better than what we had last year. Keep up the good work, and, take it easy.
Thanks, Theo.
Who wants to jump on this first?
Y'all can go ahead. I'm looking up some stats real quick.
I mean, I have to say real quick, I thought that Ross, I said a few weeks ago that, in the absence of Dante Jackson, Ross Cockrell has had that next man up mentality, and that's his second interception on the season now. So he has played very well. And, Jeff, I think you said no one ever runs by him,
yeah,
right?
He never gets beat. And if he does, he always catches back up to the receiver. It's like he's got an extra gear that I haven't seen from any other DB. You don't ever see him get beat.
I like to see him feeling good now. There was a little concern. I think he was like anybody who's suffered a major injury. He said that he was worried. It's more about trusting your knee, trusting your leg, and I think his head is now, his confidence is matching what he should be able to do, what he can do. He's a smart player, right? I think that what's great about this is that we did this without Dante Jackson. Or we're able to, is at least to weather that storm. And I thought the Elliott kid played well today. Is that you saw a lot of people getting in on action everybody was contributing. And I tell you, that continues to show you what happens when you have a relentless pass rush. It makes the secondary's job a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
A lot easier. And, Javian Elliott, I feel he has cemented his role as the nickel corner in our system, and he got a lot of love during training camp. All the beat writers loved him and talked a lot about him, and he's playing well, man. And this is another game that he got to get a little revenge against the team to let him go. He used to play for Tampa Bay, so he even picked off Cam Newton, I believe, last year or 2017, one of them. So shout out to Ross Cockrell, Javian Elliott. I mean, they've been a part of this defense in a big way.
Yeah. Well, I think Ross Cockrell is a good addition to what we've got going on right now. He filling in for Dante Jackson is great. Our secondary has played really, really well.
Yeah.
I want to go back real quick to what we were talking about before. I got to push back a little bit on the Bradbury not having a good game because I'm sitting here looking at his stats throughout the year.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty decent
39
game. He fell
tackles.
down a couple times, but...
Well, he's 29 tackles through 5 games and 3 interceptions. And guess what, guys? 10 tackles and 2 interceptions for today. So that's what the stats say, at least. I'm looking at the NFL.com. So he's credited for 10 tackles and two interceptions today.
2 picks?
So
Bradbury?
That's what it says.
Yeah, he had the one in the very beginning, and then he had the one in the
Wow.
first quarter. That first play, he picked off the first play.
So even if he gives up that big play, he's still a 10 tackle, 2 interception guy today. You can say Bradbury didn't play well, but that's pretty damn good in my opinion. And so far, 29 tackles
did bad
and
when
4
he fell
interceptions.
down.
Yeah,
You gotta give him some longer
that's pretty
cleats.
good. So
4
he's not
pass
gonna play
defended.
every single play.
Yeah,
You know?
4 pass defended too. Oh, good way to bring the stats. You're a stat
so
guy.
listen,
stat man,
Brandon
I'm telling
Herbert
you.
says I'm too hard on the coaches. At times I've been too hard on the offensive line. And hey, maybe I am. I'm always willing to admit that I'm wrong, or if I'm wrong, or when I'm wrong. But I think Brandon Herbert is too. He's too hard on Bradbury, man. He has 3 interceptions on the year right now. That's his career best.
Tied for like 3rd or 4th in the league, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the Bradbury is balling right now. And I think if you look at what some of these other defensive backfields in the NFL are rolling out, I'd rather have Bradbury than a whole slew of them.
Herbert says he's getting all those tackles because he's getting picked on. I want to go back to Cockrell real quick. His interesting point is I thought Josh Clyde from the Riot Report put out a tweet today saying that having Cockrell in there might be an advantage over having Dante Jackson today, and because of the way he was playing. And I don't know about. I don't know.
If I go that far.
Yeah. And I said, well, what happened? And I tweeted him back. And I said, well, what happened last week though? Because if I remember last week is that DJ Shark just torched he was on the ass end of a lot of plays from DJ Shark, and he wrote back. And he said, well, that guy has 4.3 speed. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough matchup, which I agree. I would say this is our secondary's had 2 tough matchups this week. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, is that Godwin is a amazing player right now. He's playing out of his mind. And so even though the defense did get picked on a little bit to that degree, I think it's going back to what Jeff said about the offense earlier, is you also did exactly what you need to do to win. So, we were really, and a lot of that is at the end, it's a lot easier to pass on a team just at the end when you're up 20 points or you're down 20 points. And we also are trying to we play softer by nature, right? Is that you do, just like it was a lot more difficult for our offense to score when we were up 20 because we were just going to run it, is that it makes it a little bit more difficult. So one drop pass then derails a lot of things after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, we should just be thankful that even though we're absent a player as dynamic as Dante Jackson, that Ross Cockrell has stepped up in a big way. So that him being out isn't a deal breaker for us. We have a guy that we can put in there. He knows the defense and he does his job. But Dante Jackson is still the guy I prefer to have on the field. And to Brandon saying, hey, well, that means if he's getting all those tackles, that means they're picking on him. But then if they're going to pick on you, then you damn well better be making the tackles. I mean, it's not his fault that they're going his way. That's just what they decided to do. And he got 2 interceptions for it. And he iced up the game for us. So, I'm not going to be hard on Bradbury until it gives us a reason. I feel like he's been great this year. Even the latter half of last year, I felt like he turned it on. So,
Nathan Goslin-Siebens brings up the next point I want to go to. He asked, what are your thoughts about Dennis Daly? And Cody, I wanted to come back, or bring this up, is the one thing I think that we should start to finally credit Norv Turner with, is, or maybe say why the hell he didn't do this faster, is that not only was Dennis Daly, like, how the heck does Darrell Williams come out with a starting job first when you could see he's that bad? But I think we have made it easier for Dennis Daly. If you've noticed, we've been sending a lot of help to the left side, whether it be chipping with the running back, whether it be pulling a guard over to help out, whether it be shifting a tight end over. So yes, Dennis Daly, in my opinion, has played fantastic played far better than what Darrell Williams was. The line has looked a lot better as he's taken over that position. But finally, our coaching staff, I think, has adjusted to saying that was our weak spot, and they're building it into the game plan finally.
They are, man. Dude, shout out to Daly. I mean, the fact that he was the 3rd guy on the roster. It was Darrell Williams and then Greg Little and then him. And he was a 6th-round pick, went to South Carolina. I've seen him play. He wasn't very impressive in college, in my opinion, but he does have a lot of great qualities. And now he's playing left tackle, maybe the most important position on the offensive line. And he's been balling, man. I mean, it was a night and day difference. Did Shaquille Barrett have a sack? I don't think so. Did he line up over Daly? Yeah, I mean, dude.
And Kyle Allen held on to the ball.
Yeah, Kyle held on to the ball. Dude, the protection has been night and day different. Shout out to Dennis Daly, man. I don't normally give credit to Gamecocks, but when it's due, it's due. And shout out to the man.
Well, I just want to point this out, and we're going to touch more on this on Tuesday because I don't want to get too in depth with it right now because this is just the post game show, not really analyst or breaking everything down show. But I do want to point out that there, at the beginning of the season, we said that Cam Newton, we were done, and we haven't had him, and we're doing well. We also said then it went to without Christian McCaffrey, we were done, but he didn't have a great game today. He had 2 touchdowns. But as far as yards go, he was, average at best. And we won the game. We have Dante Jackson out that we think is one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and Cockrell's filling in for him. Championship teams have that depth. Like, if you look at New England, they always have the next man up type mentality. And when you have a team that can put anybody the next man up and still perform, you have a really solid team. And I really think that we're kind of in that position right now, looking at us through 6 weeks now. We have good depth, and we have a solid team all the way through. We got a really good shot of making a really good run this year. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that having these guys out is making that big of a deal for us.
Jeff and I mentioned to each other during the game that, man, do we really have a team this good? I think we do, man.
Yeah.
This team is firing on all cylinders. We're doing great on offense. Our defense is rolling. Where I thought you were going to go with that, Greg, was there's almost better protection now for Kyle Allen than there was for Cam Newton, which is kind of why we had that initial thought. But, oh, man, if Cam can't hold up behind this offensive line, then how is Kyle going to do it? But, we do need to pinpoint that from Cam to Kyle, our offensive line has played substantially better.
Also there's been changes too. That's the thing, is there have been changes. What we have seen is we saw Darrell Williams shifted to right guard, right, which has helped, right? And then on top of that, my question would be, we already saw the offensive line improve as soon as Darrell Williams wasn't playing left tackle. It looked fine with Greg Little too. So a question for Tuesday, like, while most people are asking what happens if Cam Newton is healthy and Kyle Allen is still winning, that's the question in everybody's mind. And my question is, what happens when Greg Little is fully healthy and out of the concussion protocol, and Dennis Daly is playing out of his mind on the left side, or just as good? What do you do then? I think that's a tough question.
I don't think that's very tough. I mean, I want to hear what y'all say, but if Daly is still playing like a franchise left tackle, then leave that man alone. Let him go.
Well, he did get beat today. He got beat. It's just he got beat today one time, but Barrett just went blasting past him. We just happened to have some help that was able to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And there was some traffic that got in his way. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be hard. We'll have to look at the coach's film and really see how good Dennis Daly is, or how much of it is also schematically adjusted.
And with Ron Rivera, I'll say, with Ron Rivera, he's not. It doesn't matter how good Daly plays. As soon as Little's ready, he's going to put him in. That's where Rivera is.
He's going to put Darrell Williams back. That's what he's going to do.
He's going to be fired, but he is a terrible, terrible judge of talent. And there's always somebody as a backup coming in playing better than the person he wants starting in a lot of positions, and ends up performing better. And we don't realize that until we, an absolute must. And I can't judge Rivera's, or I can't grade Rivera. I can't trust Rivera's grading on talent. It just,
Andy Dalton just threw an interception in the end zone.
I wish that Greg was just joking, but he is not. I've said that many times. Yeah, man, you have to stay with the hot hand, and one thing I did want to mention, and Jeff actually brought this up, and it was how many times we were putting in McCaffrey and Manhurst in to block and give Kyle some extra time to throw the football. And, I mean, you have to do that. That's good coaching, and that's one thing that I do give to North Turner. If you have your third string left tackle playing the position, then, you should be helping them out sometimes.
We should have been doing that with Darrell Williams, though. If you want to put the knock on Norv, we should have seen –
Cam, too.
Yeah, man, exactly. Is that I would say was this too slow of a recognition? I think a little bit, and the fact that Darrell Williams was so atrocious at that position, and that's okay. Look, obviously he's been all right at guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
better position for him.
Exactly.
The bigger question when they come back will be Trey Turner, because when Trey Turner comes back, they're going to have to choose between Darrell Williams at right guard and Trey Turner at right guard, which, of course, I'm going to say Trey Turner, but, I'm happy that at least Darrell Williams has now found his role as a guard on this team.
All right, you're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. Let's keep plowing through with these calls.
Hey, fellas, this is Sarah and Garner. Sitting here watching the game, 57 seconds to go in the fourth. I'm just so elated it's not even funny. Offense has been fantastic. Breathing life. I love to talk about positives on this. Winston put pressure on him. He sold like a lawn chair. It's been fantastic. Defense, fantastic. Looking forward to the discussion. Keep pounding. Let's get this win. Man, this has been one hell of a season. Talk to you later, fellas. Bye.
Fantastic call. Thanks for supporting the show. And yeah, Ron Rivera, a lot of credit for this defense.
You have to.
All right.
I don't want to.
Shush. He's going to die.
What's up, guys? It's CK from up here in Roanoke. Sorry I couldn't join today.
What's up, CK?
Man, what a win. Just figured I'd put my 2 cents in. Great outing by the defense with that, 7 sacks and 7 total turnovers. That's just incredible. Man, that gives you a good feeling going into the bye. Certainly getting ready to face the 49ers team that seems to be hot. Anyway, boys, our run blocking definitely didn't show up today, but Kyle Allen did enough to make things work. I'm so tired of these analysts trying to create a quarterback controversy. You can clearly see Kyle Allen is not leading these wins. He is basically managing the game very well. It's absolutely asinine to assume that we're about to make a change of quarterback. Film doesn't really indicate anything. I think we'll find out pretty soon what Kyle Allen is able to do, but I think Cam Newton definitely provides a better opportunity once we start talking about playoffs. Anyway, boys, 4 wins in a row. Let's keep it going. Keep on it.
Thanks, CK. Missing you on the show. Look, someone actually just sent me a tweet 2 minutes ago, and they sent it to you. Dion Carey, Marathon Man 804 on Twitter said, "Can y'all ice up these Cam haters that think it's a QB controversy? Thanks." I want to remind people that just because Kyle Allen is playing well doesn't mean Cam Newton wouldn't or couldn't. Right. And that is one thing I'd like to keep in mind here is first clapping about Kyle Allen. Thank you, Kyle. You played sensational. You played better than I expected you to. And I just feel like this is that I do think Cam Newton could play this same game today. Right? I think he could have played this exact same game, if not better. And that's what I would think is, and that's not a knock on Kyle Allen. I just don't want people to think, don't just because you're eating this meal right here, forget that your mama's home cooking is still the best.
No. Absolutely. And this is, man, okay. So I want to give props to Rich Eisen and also shit on the NFL Network. Because at the end of the game, they literally had a graphic.
2 graphics.
Yeah, 2 graphics. Cam Newton flames out, and they have the record with Cam Newton and with Kyle Allen. And everyone keeps on doing this. And the reason why I give Rich Eisen props is because
he resists it. He resists it.
Yeah, well, so he's also making it a point to say, with an injured Cam Newton, who was not healthy, who injured his foot against the Patriots in the preseason, this is the kind of performance that he was given. And it's like, it's so annoying, man. And now Willie McGinnis and even Steve Smith is on this train that this is Kyle Allen's team now. Dude, bullshit. I don't give a fuck who's
it's not. It's not.
This is not. Kyle Allen is a game manager. And I want to say one more thing. I hate that it puts us in this position, and you alluded to it, Tony. Like, we're not shitting on Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen has balled, man. He's doing what's necessary to win the game. But he is a game manager, and that's all you want from him right now. He's made good throws. He's taking care of the football. You can't ask for more than that. But this is still Cam Newton's team, and I'm willing to fight anyone who thinks otherwise.
And we got to remember too. Go ahead, Jeff.
Perfect analogy this week on the radio. I can't remember if it was the Mac Attack. I think it was the Mac Attack. But the guy called in and was saying, this is like Cam Newton's like your wife and Kyle Allen's like the side chick. Don't get lost in the side chick.
That's right.
And lose the wife that's been with you for 8 years, that's been with you through thick and thin,
Yep.
brought you to the Super Bowl, won an MVP.
That's a great analogy.
And you can't forget about your wife. Yes, we got a cool little side chick right now with Kyle Allen, but we all know that when Cam Newton's 100% healthy, he's back on the field. I mean, it's a done deal. I don't care how.
This is the worst analogy. This is the worst analogy. You know why? Because I was going to say all of these, don't forget who really knows how to wet your whistle better. All of these different analogies I could have gone down the road because I would much rather sleep with Cam Newton than Kyle Allen. Right? So that was where I was going like this. And I was like, wait a second. He is my wife. Auntie Kamina is my wife. Is that you're right? You can't get lost in that. Now, I think here we also need to remember too that one, this is wonderful because it allows Cam Newton to truly get healthy if he can, right? I mean, I think the real questions are not if this is Cam Newton's team anymore. It's just when can Cam Newton get back to full health and stay healthy? Is that going to be this season? Is it going to be next season? Is it something that's longer than that? That's the real concern. It has nothing to do about Kyle Allen versus Cam Newton. It's just simply, will Cam Newton, when will he be 100% healthy? And will that be in a Carolina Panthers jersey? Right? Because I do have some we have to see him be healthy. That's the thing. We need to see him be.
David Tepper said in his interview this week. I think he was on the Kyle Bailey show. They had asked him about Cam Newton and Kyle Allen, and he made it very clear that when Cam Newton's healthy, he's their quarterback, and they have to put their faith in him. But,
and if anything, and this is the last thing that I'll say about it, Cam Newton has, I think I've said this before, he's earned the right to be healthy and run this offense.
Yes.
I mean, he's earned the right. He has been through too much, done too much for this football team for us to just shit on him the moment that a game manager comes in and does just enough. This is still Cam Newton's football team. I'm not really. And okay, so right now we're 4-2. Like, let Cam play a game, and even if he loses, 4-3 isn't the most terrible record, but let them have a game back to truly evaluate the difference in our offense between Cam Newton and Kyle Allen. And then after there, you make your decision. But we already know what that decision is going to be because Cam Newton's a better quarterback.
I'm almost ready for Cam to take more than just if he needs beyond the bye, like come back in week 10.
The better. Longer that shoulder rest.
Yeah, exactly.
You get Cam Newton at week 12 with the shoulder that he hasn't used in 12 weeks. I mean, I'd hate to be any team that plays us.
Yeah. Well, going back to what I was saying earlier about the team and the way we are right now, historically, over the last 15 years, it hasn't been MVP quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls. It's been good teams around quarterbacks that are playing average. I mean, just go back with it. Last year, Tom Brady put up 13 points in the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. Nick Foles the year before was a backup. Even though he had a good offensive game, he had a great offensive team that year. Tom Brady the year before that with Atlanta. That's the outlier. He had a great game. Well, a great fourth quarter.
But Tom Brady was great last year, though. He was great last year, Tom Brady.
No, he wasn't great. He played pretty horrible in the Super Bowl, and he just happened to win.
Well, but they said that's the curse, though. If whoever wins the MVP, they almost never go on to win the Super Bowl. Like, it hasn't happened in over 20 years or some shit. So, I don't want an MVP. I want a Lombardi trophy.
No, I'm not talking about season MVP. I'm just talking about in general. Like, even before that, Peyton Manning played a horrible game in the Super Bowl. He beat us. Before that was Tom Brady, where he lost to the Seahawks. He didn't play a great game then, and he won. Before that was Joe Flacco, who was not an MVP player.
Clearly you need a great team to win the Super Bowl, and a great team is more than a great quarterback.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. So either with Kyle Allen or a Cam Newton is coming back not 100%, we can still have a good team or a good chance of the way the team's playing right now.
All right, let's keep going through with the calls. The number's 252-228-5098.
Panthers podcast, how y'all doing?
Yeah, what's up, G?
Hey,
This is my boy right here.
That ass whooping we gave Tampa. And I'm going to say this right now. The motherfuckers got lucky last game. They got lucky as shit. Tampa's not even built like that. I don't care if they got Bruce Arians or not. My God. Did you see Thieves Avenue, man? Did you see Thieves Avenue? Did you see the Sack Street Boys? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Them boys were daggone balling today. Congratulations to the Panthers. And can I talk about the elephant in the room that nobody's really talking about? Our offensive line is playing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Left tackle, what's his name, Dennis Daly or whatever he is, man. That damn dude, hey, man. I think our left tackle situation is no more damn problem. So congratulations on the win, Panthers. And always remember, y'all, keep pounding.
Fantastic call. G is pumped up. He's excited. And I thought Paradis was even getting a great. I think he's been playing better each week. Also, another good thing to see, particularly because this has been something CK has come back and talked about with Ryan Khalil moving on to the Jets. Paradis has been playing great. We're starting to see the offensive line gel. And, man, the team is playing well as a whole. I hate to say it. I wanted to make this. I'm always cautious to compare anything to the 2015 season, right? Because there was a certain electricity that existed within that team. But I think there is some sort of excitement, a young, enthusiasm when you see DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel smiling and grinning and joking around. I think the defense is playing. They're hot and they're fired up. We are, and I think this is what Greg is coming back to over and over, is that the team is clicking at this point. It's not even just a specific position. It's from Christian McCaffrey to Ross Cockrell. People are performing.
Hey, I gotta interrupt the show real quick just because I feel that it's necessary, man. Nova Black just came in the chat room and said, "Hey guys, just found out my dad passed away right after the game."
Oh no,
man. Nova, you know we love you, man. You're our favorite caller. You made our draft show. You are an incredible brother. We send nothing but C3 love your way and to your family. And I hate to hear it, man, but you know you got love coming from us, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cody, for bringing that up. Please, send your regards to Nova Black. He is a legend on this show. He's a part of the family, and we wish you peace through this. I hope you can find some peace soon. I know this is going to be a difficult day and a difficult week ahead of you. All right, so we're going to continue through with the cat calls. Let's see what people have to say about this Panthers win.
Hey, this is Alston and Harrison from Atlanta, Georgia. Just wanted to let y'all know, keep pounding, man. Dude, our defense is the real deal. 6 sacks in the first half. Jared McCoy coming out against his former team, balling out of control. I thought Jameis Winston was wearing a Panthers jersey for a second because he was just throwing picks left and right. Yeah, y'all can give us a call back. Captain Football, he's awesome.
Hey, man, so, Tampa Bay beats the Rams. They think they're pretty good. And then I give all credit to our D-line. We had 5 turnovers. They forced all those turnovers. They put the heat on them. Let's go Panthers.
First, how about that? When you got the tag in, a friend tagged in, that's support for the C3 Panthers podcast right there. 2 callers, 1 phone.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's a way to economically use your minutes. Hey, man, let me just jump in on your phone, dog. Yeah, man. Listen, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm on repeat at this point in time. I'm just so impressed with this team, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what else to say. They're firing on all cylinders. I'm loving it.
All right, let's keep going.
What's up, fellas? Kyle from VA. Calling from Orlando, Florida, down here on vacation. My daughter's 2nd birthday, taking her to Disney World. And after Disney World, stressful day yesterday.
Oh, yes, it is, my friend.
Sunday.
It's so hard to find a television at Disney World. It's impossible, actually.
As long as they're playing conservative defense when you're up big time, it just gets hard seeing that. I wish we could just blow out somebody and finish the game off. But I ain't going to complain too much. We got to win. 4 in a row. We're rolling. Vernon Butler. I'm just happy to see him out here balling. 2 straight strip sacks. McCoy, 2.5, 3 sacks. I saw him out there smiling. No, he's only taking Jameis Winston down to the ground. I will say the Bucs run defense is A1. I mean,
it is true.
Crazy. Bradbury, even though he did allow a lot of catches and got burnt right there at the end of the half, he got lucky on. I mean, he's clutch. He came in clutch. Bradbury out here still balling out. I saw Eric Reed on the first, I think it was the Bucs' first touchdown when he ran it right up. I don't know what the hell Eric Reed was doing. He put his head down and just fell forward. I don't know what kind of tackling technique that was, but damn it. I mean, we won anyway, so it masked everything. Like Greg says, winning masked a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, wow, 4 in a row. Let's go. Let's keep it going. Keep pounding.
Next call.
Hey, Kyle from VA again. I just want to real quick comment on our D-line. Our D-line is ferocious. Jameis Winston.
Had no time.
Looking crazy. I mean, almost every play, there was 2 to 3 guys in his face every play. I mean, they were getting after him. We got some big boys down there on the line. They hungry, and we gonna let them eat all day. Keep pounding.
Bruce Irvin. Somebody just retweeted this by a Panthers reporter. It's a tweet from October 13th of... Wait, no, it's from today. No, he just tweeted this. He tweeted, Bruce Irvin tweeted, ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. Boy, those homies got some today.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Rich again. Last call. We won!
Yeah, we did.
My phone's run out. I had front row seats in the end. It was great, and we won because Jameis is terrible.
Yes, you're right.
Jameis is terrible. Anyway, enjoy the night. Keep pounding, guys.
You enjoy the night, Rich Kingston, man. I'm surprised his phone lasted this long. He was sending great pictures. He got down to the front row by the end, and he is absolutely right. Jameis Winston is terrible. What do you do if you're Tampa? You asked this question to the guest last week, Cody, and that was, what do how do you move forward with Jameis? Today was not a step in the right direction. It was a step closer to them seeking a new solution.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if and I think he even made the point of saying that you don't, if you're Bruce Arians, you don't come on for just one year's crack at Jameis Winston. He was saying that they might franchise tag him, but at this point, I mean, it's too bipolar. You're gonna have a game like he had against the Rams, and then a game like he had against us, where he's just, I mean, dude, he thought Luke Kuechly was a receiver. Okay, I mean,
he didn't see him at all. He didn't see him at all.
The 5 and the 9, dude. Like,
he didn't see him. You could tell he was the whole play. Luke knew where the play was going. If you go back and watch that play, Luke is yelling to the defensive back or to the other linebacker as the play snapped, right? He's reading the motion and he's saying, go that way. And he is running that way. And Jameis Winston, his eyes were going from left to right, and he threw the ball without looking right. And man, Luke Kuechly was just going the right direction. He was there. Again, Luke Kuechly knows what the hell is going on.
Yes, he does. I mean, he puts in all that time in the film room. I mean, that guy is the quarterback of the defense. I mean, he is a weapon on the field. You have to love Luke, man. You can't ever say anything bad about Luke. Even if he misses a few tackles, he deserves it, man.
Yeah, you're listening to the C3 Panthers postgame show. The number's 252-228-5098. Don't forget, we're live on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m., the longest-running Panthers podcast out there. Go ahead and support the show by smashing the thumbs-up button, participating in the chat room, and checking us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. Next call.
Hey, you already know who it is. It's your boy out in Utah. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Make my African cheesy potatoes to celebrate, baby. We nice.
We nice, boy.
Let's fucking go. Where do I start? Let's start with Kyle Allen.
game manager. All right, that's cool. He managed the game, had some beautiful throws. Beautiful throws. I ain't gonna lie, he had some beautiful throws. But at the end of the day, this offense is... I'm still waiting on Cam. That's my brother. I'm still waiting on him. Kyle had a great game. Let's talk about this Carolina front seven. My God!
This call is awesome.
This might be the best defense Carolina's ever had, let alone the best front seven. Are you brothers starting to believe G-Baby over here? Can I get some props? Like, come on, fellas.
He didn't call it.
We got the best defense in the NFL, led by the best defensive player in the NFL named Luke Kuechly. My God! God, let's go. I just wanted to get on here and say keep pounding, baby. And I'm over here in Utah with my Carolina Panthers flip-flops, baby. And on to the next one.
I like it.
Rest up.
I like it.
Get Dante Jackson rest up. Get Trey Turner rest up. Let's get all the fellas rest up. And let's go get this dub in motherfucking San Fran, baby. Let's go.
Let's do it, boy. I love that dude. Let's go.
Oh, what
Let's
a call.
go.
That's nice. That call was nice.
All his calls are fire.
Oh,
every
love it.
time. And listen, man, hey, I'm with him. Okay, listen, I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what the numbers say. Best defense in the NFL, damn it. Fight me, bro.
I like it. All right, next call. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say Gardner Minshew just threw interceptions. He falls out of that quarterback ranking where Allen and Tom Brady are at of throwing 150 passes and not throwing interceptions. So I think he's like 2 or 3 quarterbacks now. Allen is that hasn't thrown an interception that many passes.
Oh God, Ted Ginn is still fast. All right,
yeah, I'm about to do the same thing as you are.
Next call.
Yo, what's up, Tony, Cody, everybody at the C3? It's your boy Carolina King calling in, checking
What's
in.
up? What's good, brother?
I love the way that defense is starting to gel. Offense is looking good. Kyle's hitting everybody now, taking some of that load off of Christian, which is very much so necessary.
Woo!
Chase Blackburn, though, with the special teams coaching. That false start flinching is going to cost us a little bit. It's going to be so handy for us come playoff. Watch and see. Ross Cockrell is one of my MVPs, and Elliott as well. Guys, I love the trajectory we're on. 4 wins, baby. Let's go into this bye week ready. Y'all take it easy.
Great call there, and we are going into the bye week, and going back, I do want to reference 2 things. One from the previous call as well is that going into San Francisco, and in some ways we have been concerned about that team. They're a team that I believe is still undefeated. Do they have any losses? I think.
Yeah, they're still undefeated.
They haven't lost yet. Not yet.
I want to caution though. I went back and looked at them. They have played some trash ass teams. Oh gosh, who just scored a touchdown? 28. Oh, Murray just runs in touchdowns for the Saints. But I'm not as worried as some were after watching that Browns game with San Francisco, because they have played bad teams this year. So we're going to be probably their truest test. And I do want to reference Jetta Jor talking about in the chat room that the move to a 3-4 has been a help to Vernon Butler's career. And I mean, and obviously he thankfully for him, KK getting hurt may have saved his career.
It really. I mean, listen. Even if he doesn't sign with Carolina, I mean, he's at least made it to the point. I think, unless he falls off a cliff the rest of the season, he's done himself a favor. Even if he doesn't re-sign with us, I mean, someone's gonna kick the tires on him. And I do agree, man. K'Wan Short being out, this was his time to step up. And he's done just that. And I'm not, we're hard on players that don't perform well. But at the end of the day, if you're a Panther, man, I'm pulling for you. I want you to be kick-ass because that means you're kicking ass for us. So shout out to Vernon Butler, man. We've been hard on him, but, I mean, he's out there doing the damn thing, man. 2 forced fumbles. He's playing incredible. Dontari Poe is also playing better. Dontari Poe is the true definition of a zero-tech nose tackle. And
look at him. Just look at him. I mean, all you got to do is look at him, and we could have all told you that. You know,
Yeah.
He's the bouncer. Today they got in a fight. Somebody was fighting today between the Bucs, and it was like with Kuechly or somebody, and Poe gets in between these guys, and he's grinning, and he's just smiling. I'm telling you, this guy, he's like, nobody's going to mess with me. I'm 400 fucking pounds.
Yeah. Well, you know, Cody, this all goes back to something you were talking about before earlier in the season about how you can't really know what a team is until about week 6 or 7. I think you said week 6.
That's my
and I agree with you on that. And kind of what I was saying too, that the offensive line and defensive line need a few weeks to gel, and once they do, you really see what kind of team you have, and all that's starting to fall together. I was going to bring up the same point that I'm going to call him Jedi Jor, because I don't know how you pronounce it, but it says Jedi in it, and I'm a geek, so naturally I loved it. But I was going to bring that point up as well right before Tony did about Butler, about the comment in chat, because he's right, man. Cody, you were right, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was a little bit right. It takes a while for these things to gel, and we're starting to see what our team is really about, and hopefully this is what the future is going to be. So.
I think one good news about the offensive line is that somebody said this recently on the podcast. We were talking maybe Jacksonville, the beat writer from Jacksonville, and that the offensive line hadn't been the same group of guys from more than 2 weeks in a row yet. And I think we saw finally, we've had some of that issue there on our offensive line. And I don't know, is that maybe just those guys continuing to play? And maybe that makes it easier for the coaching staff, too. Just knowing what you got a little bit more and how to prepare for that, rather than not knowing what the hell you got a guy, and then all of a sudden you got to put in a new guy. What do we got to change schematically about it? So that I like the good news about our defense, and this was my point earlier too, is that it's good. We should be getting better from week to week, and we're doing that. We're getting better. We haven't just seen this flash. We saw that from our defense last year. Do you remember our defense kind of flashed, but we flamed out real quick after the beginning? Yeah. And I think that this feels different. This feels like a team that's going to be better.
It feels like it's building.
Yes, exactly. It's culminating into success. All right, let's go to the last couple of calls.
Yo, what's up, Tony, Cody, everybody?
Did we listen to this one already?
Boy Carolina King calling.
Yeah. All right.
What's good, everybody? This is Joe from Oregon. Man, I'm so happy about this W. I'm drunk as fuck. I've been up since 6. It's definitely worth it. Defense played fucking amazing, man. Like, I know it's Tampa Bay, but defense showed the fuck out. Jerry McCoy had a good game. I'm glad he got his revenge against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he did.
Kyle played a decent game. He didn't fumble. He got some other people involved, which is finally what I wanted to see. He could have been better, obviously. But same time, we got the W. That's all that matters. Break time, go to the bye, come back against the Niners. Yeah, man, great defensive game. Fucking great defensive game. Man, that's all I can say. Keep pounding. Can't wait to watch y'all later. And keep pounding. Let's go.
Fantastic call. Just eat a little bread, take a power nap, and you'll be back up for the night game. Let's keep going. Last call of the night.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Just love you. Love to listen to your stuff.
Thank you for the support.
Great info, man. Love it. Special K here. Yeah, our defensive line is nasty, man. They are nasty. They're killing that pocket. It's just so much fun to watch. I thought Bradbury was great. I love the guy. 2 freaking interceptions. Killer. Yeah, they were shooting it over to him. And Evans is a freaking great receiver. And he was getting them, but Bradbury would be right on them and tackle him. Even if he slipped, he'd jump back up and be right on top of him. The Bucs, they had the strong run defense again. After seeing what McCaffrey and Bonison did last week against the Jaguars, they were bringing that run defense. And they were solid. I mean, I wish our O-line would be able to open it up a bit more, and I wish that we were putting some heavy bodies to bash them. But we didn't do that, and but the offensive line did a great job with the pass protect. Was my man Daly on the left tackle side again? If he was, loving what he did, and if we get him and Greg Little rotating, if Little gets back on the field, I think it's going to be awesome. But hey, keep pounding, guys. Really appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you, Special K, for that call and the support, guys. There's a lot to be excited about here, and that's the final call of the night, Cody. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just end with the dab on them, folks, and final comments, right? Or if necessary. So does anybody have any presiding comments to go over to put the cherry on the top for this win before we get into the dab on them pick of the week?
I mean, I just want to say that we did the unthinkable. I mean, Tony, you and I we're on video on multiple shows saying that if Cam Newton goes down,
the season's over.
Our season.
Yep.
So Cam Newton went down, and we've gone 4-0 in that time. I mean, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
It's a credit to coaching.
Yeah, it's a credit to coaching. It's a credit to Kyle Allen. Who has, for what has been placed on his shoulders and the amount of experience and his undrafted position. I mean, the dude stepped up. Yeah, stepped up in a way that we didn't think anyone was going to be able to. People were saying that Will Grier was going to replace Cam Newton, and Will Grier didn't beat out Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen did his damn thing. So shout out to this team, man, going into the bye 4-2. We're one game back behind the Saints. Dude, you cannot ask for more.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right, cool. Yeah, fella said, I'm excited. At this point, is that the idea that this team is ready to make some noise is a great feeling to me. And boy, I'm telling you, Ron Rivera is doing about everything he can do to keep his job at this point. You know, after starting out 0-2, losing Cam, building this defense, it's going to be hard unless we just fall off a cliff at this point. But if the Panthers if we have a winning season this year, I think Marty and Ron coming back. I think you got to at this point. Yeah. I mean, they've done a lot. And going to I'll say this is that going back to the shift, my thing is this 3-4 defense is exciting. I think it fits the NFL. The NFL right now, I think it fits the type of players that are coming out of college. I think you can find guys that fit that skill set a little bit more. And you got to remember that it has to be anchored by a guy like Poe or Love in the middle. You need the fat guy in a 3-4. You need the Vince Wilfork. And if you have the personnel there, you can really put some exciting pass rushers on the field and just sick them. And it's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's fun to watch. In fact, listen, that's a perfect segue, man. My dad.
Here, hold on. Oh, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. And that dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
All right, Cody. Dab on them. Dab on them. I just like hearing Cam say that.
Normally we just pick one player, but I'm dabbing on them Sack Street boys. I mean, look, that front seven is dangerous. I agree with our fan from Utah, man. I'm on the train of this is the best front seven, the best D line in the NFL, best defense overall. Man, they're getting home. I mean, pressure on almost every single snap. Dude, we're doing big things on Sack Street, man. Let's go.
Jeff, who you got?
Well, Cody took mine, so I guess on the fly, I'm going to have to go with Kyle Allen. I mean, like Greg said earlier, Tampa Bay asked you to ask Kyle Allen to beat us because they just shut down McCaffrey, and he answered the call. I mean, he was dropping it in the basket. It wasn't just these short little dump off throws. He was throwing in the second and third level and putting it on the guys.
And if Jarius Wright catches two of those, all of a sudden he has an exceptional game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so dab on him for Kyle Allen. Greg, who you got? Who's your player of the week?
Player of the week, I have to go with Curtis Samuel, man. I got to dab on him. We haven't really talked about him much this game, but he came up big this game.
Yeah, fantastic.
And, 2 touchdowns. I can't. He's everything.
He was in my flex today. Thank Jesus.
Oh, I'm killing it in fantasy, man. I'm killing it in fantasy today, so I'm having a great day. But
I had the Panthers defense today.
My dab on him.
Today in my Yahoo League, I had the Panthers defense. I had Curtis Samuel, and I had Mike Evans. And I was with that 2-point conversion. I was like, yes, I'm so glad he got it. Now, my dab on him player of the week goes to, I'm dabbing on Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy came out and roasted his old team early, almost to the point where I thought he was enjoying it a little bit too much. Boy, when he was getting out there and looking at the sideline, good God, I was like, poor Gerald.
He even pointed over to the sidelines after his second sack.
He was enjoying it a lot, but Gerald, you deserve it. Get after your old team. That's what, if anything, we brought you here for 2 games, and this game is one of them. You didn't do it in the first one. Way to get dab on them in this one. All right, you're listening to C3 Panthers postgame. The Panthers have moved around a 4-game win streak. We are now 4-2?
4-2.
4-2. We have a long one. Now we have a bye week, which is a long one now, and then we're going to be coming back and playing. We're going to be on the road playing the San Francisco 49ers. We, however, will continue to be here on Tuesday nights live at 9 p.m., breaking it all down. And as you know, we're going to have to talk about some of the discussion that was on the game or the panel trying to create the quarterback controversy. We'll do that. We'll be looking about how the Carolina Panthers are going to try to get in the division, where they're at maybe. Will they have to fight for a wild card? Will depend upon these New Orleans Saints. But until then, guys, you keep pounding. Cody, how can they hit you on Twitter?
At Cody Lack, CODYLAC. You can check me out, hit me up, talk about anything. Also, do me a favor, C3 fans, go check out Hustle Hands LLC on Twitter. I've been working a lot with them lately. I'm going to be working with them some more. It's an apparel company. They got some kick-ass graphic tees. Go ahead and get you some and drop that Twitter account a follow.
I like that Crunk AF one. I think they've got t-shirts. I got those. Now, also, Jeff, if you need to talk to Jeff, make sure you just at Cody. That's it. That's how you can talk to Jeff on Twitter. And it's called Hustle Hands is the name of the brand.
Hustle Hands LLC is the official Twitter, but if you just type in Hustle Hands, it'll come up. Give it a follow. Check out their merch. Awesome shit.
All right, Greg, how can they get after you on Twitter?
You can find me at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter, spelled just like it sounds. You can also get a hold of me through my other show at SCS Podcast 1 on Twitter. It's a Super Civil Service Podcast.
What's coming out tomorrow?
Hit me up. I'm going to talk about.
What's coming out tomorrow? Don't you drop one on Mondays?
Tomorrow is the commentary review of Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
All right, excellent.
So
all right,
and talk about it, but
perfect. Go and subscribe to that podcast. It's a fun listen for people that are into. Well, you know what? It's just fun. It's about movies and life and fun, guys. My name's Tony Dunn. You can find me on Twitter at @cat_chronicles. Don't forget to call into the podcast. The number's 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Thanks for everybody's support of the show. And hey, sweet Caroline, bum, bum, bum. We're out of here.